Welcome to Ethan Live. Today is Thursday, August the 7th. The heat is coming back. It's another hot day outside today. We've got some court updates. We're going to do that in a later episode. We've got some different things going on. Today, we wanted to take some time to honor the life of a friend of ours and a dog that did so many amazing things and broke so many barriers for pit bulls and for so many wonderful things. And that is Jeffrey, the Positively Peaceful Pitbull, and we're honored, very honored to be joined by his person, Michele. How are you doing today, Michele?
I'm good. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, we're glad to have you.
We are very glad to have you. And, for folks that, hopefully a lot of folks that have followed Jeffrey are watching, for anyone that doesn't know Jeffrey's story, we want to get into just the amazing journey that he had. Before we jump into that, tell us a little bit about sort of your life before Jeffrey, leading up to, and how you got to know about him and where you found him at and how his adoption came to be.
Okay. Oh, I can't remember a life before Jeffrey. It's hard to remember a life before Jeffrey. But so I was always active in rescue and advocacy, serial cross poster, always sharing dogs in need. And I was cross posting one day, and and I came across this photo of the dog, of this beautiful gray chunky pit bull with a big smile, and I shared it, and I got a jolt that went right through my gut, through my heart, and I said, "Oh, that's my dog." And I contacted. He was at Manhattan Animal Care and Control. This was in 2010. He was on the euthanasia list. He was due to be euthanized the next day, and the rest is history.
How old was he at that point?
So his paperwork said he was 4, which we don't believe is accurate, because that would have put him at about 20 years old when he passed 2 weeks ago. We thought he was maybe a year and a half. He was possibly a year and a half or so, maybe 2 at the time.
I was going through, I'd asked you to send me some pictures. I was going through the pictures and putting them in where I need to put them. And this is the first time that I just noticed this, because when I first glanced at this picture, I thought that was a stuffed animal in the chairs.
No, it's Gizmo. It's Gizmo. That is Gizmo's friends. Gizmo, who is a dear friend of ours, and they are a tremendous advocate for mental health in the state of Connecticut. That dog is a pint-sized hero in his own right, and his mom, Jen, is extraordinary. They're just amazing.
So once you got Jeffrey, what did you start? What was the first type of work that you all did together?
Well, Jeffrey came from the shelter, and he did not know anything. He did not know how to walk on a leash. He didn't know how to sit. He pulled me down on my face. So I decided to take a basic obedience through the rec department class just to have some fun. We started there, and then we decided to take our Canine Good Citizen test. And we went from there, and the Canine Good Citizen evaluator said to me, "If you don't make this dog a therapy dog, it would be an absolute shame." So I hadn't thought about it. So I looked into it, and we did some classes, and then we started our therapy journey. But yeah. But
had you given it any thought on your own? Did you see any certain personality things from him that you thought, wow, he's different than these other dogs that I see?
Honestly, Jeff, my loftiest goal was to do the CGC test. I really didn't know. I mean, he just was a nice guy right from the get-go. So his shelter workers, I do have to show his shelter workers, Jeff Latzer, Carol Rothschild. He was pulled that morning by Samantha Bloom. They are still part of our lives 15 years later. He's named after Jeff. Great name, by the way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and Samantha and I text every single day still. And this was 2010, it's 2025, and we are still a family. We reunited in October. All of us were together
Yeah.
for
So he
visits.
started his therapy work. Where was he doing his therapy work?
So he began doing therapy work. We did a lot of teaching about dog safety to scout
Oh,
troops,
wow.
and we talked about how to interact with dogs. We volunteered at IRIS, which is Integrated Refugee and Immigration Services, because some of the children that were new to our country had never even seen dogs in their daily life, so they didn't know much about it. Then I did some hospice work. We were deployed. We were deployed by Soul Friends to various places, and
Oh.
that's our donation drive. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's our
Something
donation
to be
drive.
very proud of. That's a wonderful achievement and accomplishment there.
Thank you, thank you.
So
That was
you started this donation drive. Tell people about that. That was
um,
to gather food for folks that needed dog food.
So we started Jeffrey's Joy of Giving after the Sandy Hook tragedy in
Oh,
Connecticut. Um, and I decided to do something positive every December to pay it forward. So what we would do is collect pet food and supplies for local shelters, pet food pantries, and we would also collect food, non-perishables, um, n- toiletries, necessities, winter coats for the homeless shelters, the human homeless shelters in our area. We would mix it up every year. So we had each year we had a human charity, a um, that was a monetary charity. Then we had or a dog charity. Then we had a, a human charity and a dog charity each
oh,
year. We rotated it throughout the years. We did the New Haven Animal Shelter, Friends of New Haven Animal Shelter, Star Relief and Pet Assistance, A Hand for a Paw. We did Sandy Hook Promise. We did Downtown Evening Soup Kitchen, the Bethel Center in Milford, Feel the Warmth Bridgeport. Each year we just continued to get bigger and bigger, and I would just set up in a parking lot, my dog, myself in a tent, and
oh,
collect donations.
that is cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you start to do your therapy work, and at what
Mhm.
point do you decide or you notice that he could be a dog that could get into the rally? And I want to make sure
Mm,
I use the right terminology. The rally
Yeah,
obedience.
yeah, rally obedience. That's a great question. So what happened was, so we've he's been the dog for the Cove Center for Grieving Children since
oh,
2012. So we worked with heavy stuff, and you know firsthand how emotionally intelligent our dogs are, and how they take on everything. And I noticed that he was not bouncing back quickly from visits. He would be asleep in the car by the time we'd leave, and I wanted to put some joy back into his life. So we decided to take a games class at a local
oh,
facility, and he loved it. He had fun, so we kept going, and we did that for a few years, and it really brought the joy back to him. And then we had a coach come into our life, Taylor Brooks, who is one of my dearest friends, and her dog Kingston was Jeffrey's best friend through the years. He's in a lot of these pictures. They are
uh-huh. Cool.
Is
Look
this?
at that.
Let me see. Is this?
That's him. That's Kingston.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, Kingston and Jeffrey were the best of friends. They traveled the country from New Hampshire to Virginia, everywhere in between, competing, and
oh,
just they were the best of friends. And they're together now. Kingston left us in December.
Jeffrey
Oh,
looks so tiny there.
yeah, Jeffrey at that point was about 69 pounds, if that tells
Okay.
you anything about the size of Kingston, who is a Shiloh Shepherd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful,
Oh,
just a kind, sweet, lovable, just like Ethan, a gentle giant, just a
uh-huh. Yeah.
kind soul, very good at his sport. And just their journey together was beautiful. And
Uh,
that gives me peace to know they're together again.
yeah.
And you, so as you go start in this rally obedience
Mhm.
train competitions, like first of all, you got to know right away that, I mean, just look at, he's really good at it,
Yeah.
and
He liked
and
it. He
and did you?
liked it. He just liked it. And he was almost, I mean, if you look at his body, he does not look like an athlete. I mean, just call a spade a spade. He did look like an athlete. He's kind of almost like the cute, chubby kid that's ironically very good at gymnastics. That was
Oh, that's
Jeffrey.
great.
He enjoyed it. And my coach, I had no interest in competing, none. And we went to one trial. She encouraged me. We went to one trial, did one class. I said, I am never doing this again. I was so anxious, didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. Jeffrey was the mayor everywhere he went. He enjoyed whatever he did. He didn't, whatever he was doing. As long as he was with me, he was happy. So I
Wow.
let it go like another year before I even thought about it. And then we tried again. We went to New Hampshire, to Monadnock, New Hampshire, and the whole experience was beautiful. It was everyone was welcoming. Everyone was your cheerleader. It was just, a nice country community setting. It was potluck. Everybody, and we tried
Oh,
again, and he took off. He loved it. He had his first perfect score,
wow.
and we met so many friends, and it just was an enjoyable experience. So we kept at it, and we just kept training.
Michelle,
Um,
I don't know much about the rally. What does it entail? What do the dogs, what kind of things do they do at the rally?
So we competed in a venue called World Sport Rally.
Uh,
Rally obedience is that it's not technically obedience. I mean, it's a partnership with your dog. In World Sport, you are allowed to talk to your dog. You are allowed to reward your dog. Each time you go to a trial, the courses are different.
oh,
And it starts with the lowest level is intro, level 1, level 2, level 3, then veterans for older dogs, and then there's combined titles that you earn by doing competing in levels 1 and 2, and then levels 2 and 3, and then levels 1, 2, and 3, which would be the master champion title, which
oh,
are those are the ribbons behind him in this photo. um
cool.
he he earned 6 master champion titles.
Wow. That's incredible.
He,
Wow.
he was the first bull in history to earn a master champion title.
Oh,
I was going
wow.
to say, so at what point when you're doing this rally stuff, do you start looking around and you say, wait a minute,
Yeah.
is this the only pit bull here, or like how come?
Yeah.
I mean,
He
he was the first
was
to reach so many milestones.
Mhm. He was usually the only pit bull at away trials, but at our home facility, we had 5 pit bull teams. One of our dearest friends, she still competes with her Staffies and her American Staffordshire and her pit bull, and then our other friend Lil with both her dogs, and they've all accomplished. They've both gotten their MXs now, so there's quite a few pit bull dogs now that have them. And we encourage anybody, I mean, anybody with any dog. It's such an inclusive sport. Your dog can be blind, your dog can be deaf, your dog can be blind and deaf, and you can compete in this sport, and
Ah,
you're going to be embraced and encouraged. And it's challenging. I mean, it's different every time you go. It's different. And it was a great journey for us. It was bonding, and we trained with a group of people that are a family to us, at our training facility, Cause and Effect in Hamden, Connecticut. And they'll forever be our family. And he loved it. We've trained force free, positive. That Jeffrey was the most joyful soul. He loved to train because it was fun. He didn't know it was work.
it was work to him. Huh.
Oh,
The
big school.
natural
Well,
athlete,
so
huh?
we talked with Chris, who has Cole, a while back, and he was telling us, what an inspiration that you guys were to him. And
Uh-huh.
so doing the cool things that you're doing, and then you add on the fact that Jeffrey was a pit bull, and that you were doing these great things with these dogs that have this really bad reputation, when in reality the owners should probably have the bad reputation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you run into any like pushback from folks when you would show up with Jeffrey, or when you would take him to different places, sort of like Chris talked about a little bit?
all the time. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, and I chose to meet that with love and just say, "Oh, I can see you're uncomfortable. My name is Michelle. I'm going to give you some space. Do you mind if I ask why? Um, you know, why you're nervous. My dog is friendly. He's a therapy dog. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but do you mind if I ask why? And then they would usually be shocked because you were kind to them and asked them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they would say, oh, I was bitten by a dog, or, oh, usually it was, I've read all about those dogs, or I know about those dogs. And so I would just be kind and just say, it was so lovely to meet you. Have a great day. And that way you're just planting a seed, because if they already go into it with the mindset that they don't like your dog,
You're not
being nasty to them is not going to make them like your dog any better. But if
right.
you are kind to them, you're planting a seed. They walk away from you, and maybe the next time they see somebody with a pit bull, they feel a little bit better because the person on the end of the leash of the last pit bull they saw was very nice to them. So you just don't know who you're running across, and you don't know what their history is. And some people have very valid reasons for being afraid, and you never want to make their fear worse. You want to comfort them and make sure that they know that you're not trying to make them uncomfortable. And a lot of times people would decide, oh, maybe I'd like to pet him, or oh, he looks friendly. He is friendly. And then, we had some really beautiful moments that way, just teachable moments. And
I love that, Michele. It's so important to get that out there, because I know Jeff has the same things, sometimes too. People will see the size of Ethan's head and go, whoa, so just that patience with that other person that you said, what they've experienced.
And that interaction with him could be either the start or the rebuilding of, if they've had a bad experience or they've never had any experience at all with dogs. And it's also a good way, I have found, to you hate to say it, educate some of the adults sometimes, because
always
you have to. Here's the way I think about it. If you were sitting there and someone just came up to you and just started rubbing on you and doing all this other kind of stuff, yes, so many dogs are just okay with it, but to walk up to someone and ask permission and to be able to approach the dog in the right way is very important, because you probably ran into it, but you be around kids, and if you take your eye off for a split second of someone's trying to climb on your dog. And then if the dog reacts in any kind of negative way, it's the dog's fault, when in reality, what if someone was trying to climb on you?
Exactly. You're exactly right. We would one example is we started to visit the library in New Haven, and many of the children there had seen dogs that looked like Jeffrey in a very different light. And I thought it was going to be great. We're going to the library. And I got there and they were all against the wall. They were scared, and I felt horrible. So the next time we went, I painted his toenails bright pink, and they came in and they cracked up. They laughed. It broke the ice. The ice. So there he is.
I don't have a pink picture, but I do have the green picture.
I like the green.
There he is. And each time we would go, because we did the reading education assistance program, the kids would read to him, and these kids were often bilingual, and they would read to him. And if they did, one kid each week would get to whisper in Jeffrey's ear what color they liked the best, and I would eavesdrop a little bit. And then the next week we would go, and the kids would be at the top of the stairs waiting to see what color his nails would be. So it was
how sweet.
And then they told him secretly, and then he told you. And then all of a sudden he shows up with the correct nails. That's very sweet. And I love, you mentioned example. And from the moment that, we became acquainted with each other several years ago, what you, and I don't know if it is what you might call your motto, but you guys always advocated by example. So talk to folks about how important that is.
It's important to walk your walk and for people to see. I mean, so I've been in advocacy for a long time. I was the president of the Connecticut Pitbull Project and ran Connecticut Pitbull Awareness. So I called it Celebration Day. And we did a lot of educating and had a big event every year in Connecticut for many years. It was founded by Jody Priest from Bless the Bullies, very dear to us, very, very dear to us, hero of mine. And Online, we see it. I mean, you and I both know online can be a very ugly place, and you see somebody says something about a pit bull and everybody jumps all over them. That is not going to change their mind. That is not going to make them like you. So I just figured it's never worth arguing with somebody. You just be kind, be yourself, get out there and show them. If they see it with their own eyes and you're not shoving it down their throat or making them feel bad about the way they feel, people feel the way they feel, and that's okay. But if it's hateful, you're not going to change it with hate. You're going to maybe plant, like I said, plant a seed. They see it and they're like, oh, gee, that dog is pretty nice. Oh, he's friendly. Oh, look at those kids are around that dog and he's got a vest on. He's a therapy dog. He's in a library. There's 10 kids here. Oh, he's safe. Yeah. Oh, he's a pet partners dog. We were very proud to be a pet partners therapy team because it's very stringent and highly respected registry. And you're under a microscope anyway as a pit bull. Why not be even more under a microscope? So we chose them and had a 12-year journey with them, and it planted seeds. I hope it planted ripples that will go on and on and on.
Well, it will.
I think what you have done with him is you're going to see the results of some of that for many years to come. You've influenced some amazing folks out there, us, Chris, these bully breed dogs, and you guys were doing this for such a long time ago, and you had such a good run of so many years of doing some amazing, very cool things that people probably told you can't do with that dog, but you knew the difference, and you recognized his personality and what he could do.
And all those children that you touched, that you planted that seed, those children are growing up, and they will influence the next generation.
I hope so.
It will continue on.
Mm-hmm. I hope so. Well, Ellie, the pit bull, was our hero, and Leo's a good dear friend of mine, and we were all part of a superhero pit bull squad many years ago. And dear Ellie's been gone for quite a few years now, but she blazed the trail far before us, and we followed in her footsteps, and we worked in her honor once she was gone. And and we just see these amazing advocates, Rebecca Corey, Rue Yori. There's just so many amazing people in our community, but it's not just pit bull type dogs. I mean, dogs are dogs. Every dog is an individual. They just want to be loved. They just want the same things that any other dog wants. And if we can just show the world that our dogs are just a dog, that's important.
Yeah, I think that it's important for doing such wonderful advocacy work. There's dogs. It's interesting that I think I said this on one of our other podcasts. So we may at times leave our home and go out to work or go to the store and do a bunch of different things, and you've got these other parts of your lives. And when you come home, like you are your dog's whole life. I mean, you are everything, and so they get so excited to see you, and you're not ever going to be loved like you'll be loved by a dog, and just to see eyes light up, and so then when you have a situation, like Jeffrey, and you see that there's a difference there, and there's something special there, and then you almost have sort of a responsibility to say, I'm going to show everyone that these dogs aren't bad. I'm going to show what these dogs can do. And it doesn't mean that every dog needs to go out and get into rally abuse. It's just showing that dogs are just souls, just like us. They just want to be treated equally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's that quote that says everyone thinks they have the best dog in the world, and none of them are wrong. It's so true, because the dog that lays on the couch, the dog that my other dog, Puck Francis, who passed away in December, that's both within 7 months. Jeffrey picked him out from the Newark shelter, and he took me down the rabbit hole of behavior because he, I drove away, and they hooked up the U-Haul of his shoes to the back to my bumper, and away we went. And he struggled with a lot of challenges. He was fearful. He struggled with reactivity. He struggled with barrier aggression, leash reactivity. He redirected. He had bitten me a few times. So it brought me down the rabbit hole of behavior to help him, and I'm now a certified professional dog trainer. And that was because of Puck, not really because of Jeffrey. I would have just continued doing dog sports, but they bring us to where we need to be. Our dogs, if we listen to them, they guide us to be the people that we are meant to be. I mean, there is a reason why dog is God spelled backwards, and if we just listen and let them guide us, can't go wrong.
Journey.
Yeah, he had such an amazing journey. How and that his name was Puck.
Puck Francis. Yes, he came from. His name was Scraps at the shelter, which if that tells you.
Yeah, that's.
He was. Yeah, he was funny. I don't think there's any pictures. There might have been some in there of him, but yeah, he. So there's Cindy Lauper with her little Jeffrey.
Oh, how cool is that?
Cindy. As emotional support on tour.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you get to meet her? Did you send her a Jeffrey?
I did not. Our one of my loved ones, one of my very close family members, essentially, is her tour manager, and he brought her that and snapped that picture for us because love her. She's an amazing human and again an advocate in her own right, advocating by example. She's a beautiful inspiration as well.
Oh, that is an adorable picture.
Retirement.
So talk to me a little bit about probably more difficult, but getting to the point where like no one knew Jeffrey like you knew Jeffrey. So talk to me a little bit about when you realized that he was getting a little bit older and maybe needed to slow down a little bit, and how you sort of managed that with, he loved to do this work, but yet now we're getting an older man.
Yeah, I started to scale back, and we would each year we did grief camp. We did Camp Aaron, which was brought to Connecticut by the Moyer Foundation years ago, which turned to Camp Compassion, which was sponsored by the Cove Center for Grieving Children. And we slowed down, and I decided that camp was hard for him, so we did our last hurrah at camp. And we were fortunate enough to have Gizmo and Gadget with us at camp, which was great. They're very famous therapy dogs, and it was by surprise. We didn't know they would be there, and that was his last time at camp. And then we just slowed down on taking visits when we had so many requests, and I work full time. I'm also a dog trainer, and I really couldn't accommodate everyone that would ask. So I would have to just try to gracefully decline, and just slowly, I just kind of faded him out and decided that we were going to retire him in a happy way with a fundraiser. We did a fundraiser for his retirement celebration. Was a fundraiser for Soul Friends and the Cove Center for Grieving Children, who work tandemly. Soul Friends deals with trauma, animal assisted therapies for trauma, and the Cove is the Cove Center for Grieving Children, which deals with grief in children. There's his cake.
Oh.
And so what kind of, you said that he would go to these camps for grieving children. So talk to us a little bit about what you could see the impact that Jeffrey had with these kids.
Yeah, we would. These camps were always in just like an undisclosed location, and a far away location, and we would just go for a few hours one of the days. We wouldn't stay at camp. It's with the therapy dogs. There is a rule that you can only work for so many hours. You can only work 2 hours a day. So we would go to camp. We would spend a few hours and just visit each different group, and the kids would ask questions, and the child that needed the clown would get the clown. The child that needed the quiet shoulder would get the quiet shoulder. It's just, he did his thing. I was his chauffeur. I was there. It was all him. It truly was all him. I was just blessed to walk beside him and through all this, and just be able to help him do what he was here to do.
Yeah.
And how cool was it just to sort of be able to sit back when you would take him different places, and just to be able to see that he, like, how smart are dogs that he could just recognize what people needed from him.
Oh yeah, their emotional intelligence is so far beyond ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a picture.
Yeah, it's adorable.
Towards the end of his life, Jeffrey had a spinal stenosis and his hind end got weak. He was still walking as of last August. We I took him to Dog Mountain in Vermont, and he was still walking at the time, but then he slowly really lost use of his back legs. But I tried with the wheelchair for him, and he didn't take to it, so he had that stroller, and I pushed him. He loved that stroller, and he was fine. He was fine with the help him up harness and the stroller, and he enjoyed his life to the fullest, until he was ready, till he was tired. Oh, Emma, there's our Emma.
So what? This was at a Yukon graduation.
No, so Emma is Jeffrey's little bestie that he met in Sandy Hook, and they had just an instant bond years ago, and they've become family to us. And they've kept a relationship over the years. And she was, I think, 8 when she met Jeffrey, 7 or 8, and that was her graduation, Yukon graduation. There's Jeffrey with her. And she just spent a semester abroad. We're so proud of her. She's extraordinary in every way. I love her dearly. And she just visited with Jeffrey about a month ago. I'm so grateful. They had a nice visit. We had a nice visit in Newtown, and we had lunch, and they spent time together, and we have some beautiful photos of them together, and we'll always treasure our memories. Yeah, we have beautiful memories.
And he met her when he was doing some work with Sandy Hook.
Yeah, we were deployed there. For a short amount of time. December, January, February, and through the spring, through some of the next year. Did some visiting, not in the school, but a lot of private visits and requested visits. And then he's done so many other things aside from that, though. Tremendously. The Cove was one of our biggest ones. We did hospice. We did, again, a lot of education. Went to schools. We went to almost following Cole, but on a much smaller scale. Cole and Chris are larger than life. We're not on that level, but we did hundreds and hundreds of hours of visiting over the years. There's John. He's a rehab specialist in New York City. He does water rehab with dogs, and he's visiting that was Jeffrey last October.
Oh.
So the thing that I love is so many of these pictures we're looking at, like, he always has this big smile on his face.
Yeah,
He's just enjoying every single second that he's got.
Every moment he was joyful. There's Emma that's the first photo when they first met.
Is this her?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's very cool. I didn't know
her mom took that picture and sent it to us.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, that's a good girl.
There, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very, very sweet.
Yeah. And there's Stevie Nicks and Jeffrey are together again as well. That was his little girlfriend in New York City, and Stevie's mom again is another extraordinary advocate for shelter dogs and Pitbull type dogs in the city. And Stevie was treasure, and that was her 9th birthday. And the two of them were so cute together.
Yeah,
so
they are.
Jeffrey knew all the bigwigs. Cyndi Lauper, Stevie Nicks.
Yeah,
Stevie Nicks.
Very cool things. Yeah, and there's the collar.
There he is with his. He wore that collar to every trial and almost nearly every visit. We had some pretty fancy collars, but for the most part, he wore this collar everywhere.
Because just bouncing back, it was such a. This incredible journey you went on. He started as a dog in the shelter that was on the euthanasia.
Death row. Yep. Euthanasia day. He was 11th hour rescue, and Samantha Bloom pulled him out of the shelter that morning. And I had contacted, I wanted to adopt him, and they said, oh, well, somebody pulled him. And I said, oh, well, at least he got a home. And they said, no, she's a rescuer. We're going to put you in touch. And Jeff and Carol put me in touch with her. And I mean, look at us. It's 15 years later. They're our family. I mean, we're all so close. So many, all these years. And Jeffrey's named after Jeff, his shelter worker.
Not you, Jeff.
Well, it's a great name. I mean, how could you not pick that name?
Well,
So,
so you think about. I like to think about this sometimes. So, in Jeffrey's life, if one little thing had gone differently, at that shelter, or before he got to that shelter,
hours.
Just that butterfly effect. That, like you just said, hours. If hours would have been differently, or the what was her name, Samantha, that pulled him. If she had, if it had been hours before she pulled, or you hadn't seen him, and none of this, like just those random, simple little acts of kindness that people have, led to this amazing journey.
I will tell you, Carol Rothschild, she literally saved his life. She would take him out during. She's no longer, but she made sure he was still with us so that he could get pulled that day. She's his angel. She's still so dear to us, to us.
Yeah. And I always love that we can, it reminds us every day that all those little diamonds sitting there in the shelters that are just diamonds in the rough, just needing.
Absolutely.
I wanted to show that, pop that picture up there one more time, because a couple years ago when we became acquainted with one another, you said, Ethan, say Papa. Yeah, we've always been very grateful to you for
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
And I've always looked to I've always loved that saying, advocate by example.
Thank you.
Because you've got to, if you've got to, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk.
That's right.
And
I tried my best.
And you did a fantastic job. I mean, we've got this incredible story to talk about because of the wonderful work that you guys were doing. And I just I'm flipping through here as I'm looking, and I know I'm not in order, but I just want to make sure we see all these wonderful pictures. Jeffrey, I love little purple.
He liked his clothes. He liked his clothes. He was a brand ambassador for Rescue Fashions, and she made that, and it was adorable.
He liked wearing the clothes, Michele.
He did. He liked everything. He was the kindest soul. He just was. Everything about him was love and peace. He was peaceful. Everything about him was kindness and peace, and that's the way he walked his walk every day. And nobody taught him that. That's who he was. And I will spend the rest of my life striving to be worthy of the gift that was him in my life. There'll never be another Jeffrey. We get these special dogs. You get it, Jeff. I know you get it. You have one too. You get it.
I think about those times when, like, it's just you and him driving, and people think like I'm crazy, but like you're driving with him and you talk to him like he's a person and he understands everything that's going on, and it's just those simple little things, Obi.
Those moments, I truly just sitting in silence, and even, he left me 2 weeks ago today, and we spent the day just being, and that was the best part about Jeffrey, was you could just sit silently with him and exchange love and just be, and you could be yourself, and he didn't care about, he loved. No, that was it. Pure love. He didn't judge. He didn't judge, and these dogs don't judge, but everybody judges them so harshly. But the irony is that they're the ones that don't ever judge.
Very true. What was going on here with the Today Show?
Oh, so a lovely woman. So a woman was doing her Columbia, her master's thesis project, and she had filmed us in Manhattan at the, it was at Columbia School of Social Work. We had done a therapy dog visit there an event, and she had filmed the whole day, and then she contacted me and said, "Oh, gee, I would really like to do a little piece on Jeffrey because he kind of stood out to me amongst all the dogs that were there. I mean, he really connected at a soul level with all of the people." And her name is Jane, and she came here to Milford, and we filmed, and we went everywhere, and she saw him in his element, and we went to Sandy Hook with Emma's parents' permission, but only for a very brief blip of the video. And then one day she contacted me and said, "Oh, I have to ask you something. MSNBC wants to buy the video," and we hadn't gotten to see it. Nobody had seen it yet. And I said, "Well, I am not comfortable with that because I don't want them to make it about Sandy Hook, because it truly wasn't. It was about a dog coming from a shelter, becoming a therapy dog, and showing what dogs can do." And so we left it up to Emma's parents to make the decision, because that is not, we would never, that's not a reason to get attention. We never did that. Even in the Hero Dog Awards, we never mentioned it once. It was not in any of our, we don't talk about it. And they decided, because they were a rescue family as well, that, let's take the chance. And the MSNBC promised they would not make it about that. And they did. So I am bittersweet when I see this. I almost cringe when I see it, because I would never, we would never use that. But the video itself, if you watch it, it really isn't about that. It's got a little blip in there. And other than that, it's just Jane did a beautiful job of just showing, there's Kingston and Jeffrey in the hotel room. Jeffrey clearly looking for cheese.
Wait a minute. Here's one looking for cheese right there.
Oh, Easter Bunny. Holiday Jeffrey is my favorite.
Yeah, very. We got this cute. Look at that.
Oh, that's a cute picture.
Also loved, you would, when Jeffrey was feeling good, you guys would go on like these, I forget what you call them, sniff walks or smell walks, where you just walk and you just let him do his thing.
Yeah, even when he was in that stroller, I would take him and I would let him sniff the garbage cans. I would let him sniff the bushes and check his pee mail from the stroller. And I still wanted him to have enrichment. We would go to the beach, and I have a car with a full glass sunroof on the top, and I would put minnows on the roof, and he would watch the seagulls eat the minnows, and he loved to do that, and he loved to go to the car wash. You just have to meet the dog where they're at, and a dog that's 16 and a half still deserves enrichment just as much as a puppy or a 5-year-old dog. It's a different type. And Jeffrey was not a swimmer, by the way. You see that picture there? That was the only time that was in use. He did not. He swam like a bowling ball. Not his thing. Not his thing.
Definitely been there. But it's just kind of you people. I learned from that, right? Because a lot of people just you take your dog on a walk and you're walking with your dog, but you can learn a lot if you let your dog lead you where they want to go and what they want to sniff. And you're not in a hurry. What's the hurry?
No, it's their walk. Their walk. If you want to walk, you put your headphones on and you power walk. You want to walk with your dog, you let your dog lead the walk. Yeah.
Very cool.
So much better that way.
This little photo here too.
Oh, that's really cool.
My friend Britton took that. No, actually, my friend Robin took that photo, and that was just an enhanced. Someone else had enhanced that with the colors, but my friend Robin from Muttography took that. She's an amazing photographer. And there's Dean Russo. That's Dean Russo painted that.
Yeah, that's very cool. He does some very cool stuff.
He's really cool. Yeah, he's a great guy, great advocate for our dogs.
That's very cool. This has always been. You posted it a couple years ago. This one has always been one of my very favorite pictures, right there.
Yeah, I remember.
Kaylee Greer. As you can see, it says dog breath in the corner. That's Kaylee Greer. Kaylee Greer and Sam Haddix right now are on what's called the Greatest Adventure, and they are traveling across the country, going to shelters, taking long-term residents out, photographing like this. Then
Oh,
they're
wow.
authoring, then they teach the staff how to take great photos that show these dogs, show their essence,
Uh-huh.
and they leave the shelters with the equipment to continue doing so. That's our
Wow.
favorite. That's our charity of choice right now. I'm probably going to do a fundraiser for them. Dog Breath Photography Foundation. She has been such an incredible advocate for Pitbull type dogs and shelter dogs for forever. She's a dear friend of ours, and yeah, I love that photo.
Yeah, that was
She's an
Fantastic, and it might sound crazy, but
Mhm.
the way that when you put a picture of a dog on a website, on a shelter dog website,
Mhm.
it makes a difference. People get
Oh,
an
yeah.
immediate impression of that, and you can take a picture of a dog that is a fantastic picture, and they
mhm.
look happy and whatever. And 5 seconds later, you can take another picture when they're just in the middle of doing something else where they don't look the same,
Stress.
and there's a big difference there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, remember the blue box years ago? Jeff, you're a shelter person. You
Yeah,
remember years ago they used to have the blue box and the leash would go through the hole and the dogs were terrified. And that doesn't make anybody look good.
No.
And to be able to give the gift of the dogs to be shown as they are and who they are, is so helpful because it helps them get the right home so that they stay in that home.
Right.
yeah, and
Uh,
because people have probably heard me say many times, and I'm not the only
Mhm.
one that said it. There are no dogs in a shelter by choice. So,
right.
and the
No,
longer that a dog can be in a shelter, I mean,
no,
it's not good for them. And
no
so you get a little
stress.
less of their personality, and unfortunately, you get a little bit of the worst. And we all have good and bad.
Mhm,
Dogs have good and bad, and you're going to get the worst
mhm.
of it when you're just sitting in a basically a jail cell every day.
True.
And it's just there's just so many. You advocate by example, and you advocate by, hey, if you want to add a member of your family and that's what you're doing, check out the shelters, because Jeffrey is a perfect example. He was right there at
Right.
the shelter. I mean,
Mhm.
hours, Michelle, from euthanasia, and he look at this incredible life that he led, and the people and the lives that he is influencing all these
Mhm.
years later.
Thank you. There are diamonds in every shelter across this country. You just
Right.
have to look. You have to take time to polish them and give them a chance. And yeah, this shelter stress is hard on dogs, but once they get a chance to decompress, and it does take time. They say the 3-3-3. It's even more than that often. I mean, the
Yeah.
dog guides it, but you just give them a chance to tell you what they need, and they can have a beautiful life.
Yeah,
Oh,
that, that's true.
um, Kristen Bonafide in New Jersey, and a dear friend, a very dear friend of ours, she drew that for us years ago, and that became his little logo.
That's
Um,
adorable
yeah,
too. Oh, you have so many wonderful pictures to cherish.
Yeah, I love all
Mhm.
these pictures.
Yeah.
There you
Spay
go.
neuter.
There you go, people. Top 10 reasons to spay neuter your pet.
Yeah.
So much cuter when you're neutered. Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah. He
it,
was
it
the poster dog.
it is I mean, you hear it all the time, and some of the work we do around here, we met up. We wanted to make the biggest impact that we could, and you go around to folks that are in charge
Mhm.
of, or they're heading up animal things, and every one of them, what's the biggest impact? Spay and neuter, spay and neuter, spay and
Yeah,
neuter. And
huge, huge.
but another perfect advocate by example, teaching people about spay and neuter. I'm looking through here because I want to make sure we get all of these pictures in. And I was bouncing around. I told myself I wasn't going to do that, but then as you got to talking, I saw these pictures. I just wanted to throw up there. So I want to make sure we get all of them in. Look at that picture. There you go.
Christmas
Oh,
Holiday Jeffrey. I
Look,
tell you, Holiday Jeffrey was my favorite.
wow.
he,
He
he
wasn't
was
afraid of Santa
he was
Claus.
definitely a ham for the camp.
Oh,
There you
Oh
oh,
go.
my
he won a Halloween costume contest at a
God.
trial in New Hampshire with that one. He even had coconut bra.
That's very, very cute. And
Oh,
you got this one here. Back to
oh,
Holiday Jeffrey again. Yeah. So very,
that's
very,
adorable.
yeah.
Oh,
That's his friend Raina. His friend Raina. They were buddies, competed together. She's still with us. She's living the life in Minnesota with her dad. And her funny thing was you'd say, Raina, who's your best friend? And she would put her paw on top of his head.
Oh,
Pop him on the head.
Oh, that's cute. How cute.
that
That
is
is so cute. Oh, that's Judge Charlene Schwanemer and our coach Taylor Brooks and Jeffrey. That was the first time he was awarded the Heart and Soul of Rally Award at a trial. It was a visiting judge's choice of the dog that embodied the heart and soul of Rally. And Jeffrey was awarded that award twice in his career, which was a tremendous honor, because it's not about the scores. That wasn't about the scores.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that's a very special award to receive. Yeah, right there.
Oh, wow.
That's the only serious picture I think we have of Jeffrey.
Very soulful there.
Very soulful. Yeah, my friend calls him the connector of souls because look at all the people he brought into my life.
Exactly.
You think you get it, Jeff? You get it too, Ethan. He's brought. Look at all the people he's brought into your life. Like these dogs are, they're gifts. They're gifts.
Yep.
They are gifts.
There he is. There's the bra.
There it is.
Oh my.
The candy corn toenails.
Oh goodness. No wonder he won.
It was hilarious. People fell out laughing. It was very funny. It was, and he worked it. He worked it. Oh, that was at Pitbull Awareness Day, speaking at Pitbull Awareness Day about advocacy.
That's very cool. I have, people have heard me say many times, and I'm sure it's true with Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
The legacy, like Jeffrey has won all those awards. I'm sure in your background right there, you see all these things he's done, and you see all these things he's done, but I can't imagine that there's anything more special to you than the people and the lives that he brought together that would have never known one another and Jeffrey brought all those people together.
Yeah.
It is. And those people are
family.
They're the reason I'm still here right now. Truly, all of you and your gracious invitation to come. There's Ellie. There's Ellie, the hero dog, right there with Leah and Jeffrey and our friend Carol. Come up here. She spoke at our event. She spoke at my Pitbull celebration day. And I can't remember what year it was. My goodness, it was maybe 2015. I can't remember what year she won it, but yeah, she came up and spoke at our event. She was amazing.
I like that one too. That's cool.
There he is. Yeah, that's in New Haven in front of the graffiti. Robin Lasone and Motography took that photo. You can see their logo there on the photo. They took that photo. They did a photo shoot. It was for, I think it was for something she was doing. She was looking for a model, and Jeffrey liked that. I don't think he knew he was having his picture taken, but he knew that box brought a piece of cheese with it, so he was all for it.
So he loved cheese, huh?
He loved cheese. Love cheese. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
It was so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, from death row to master champion. Yeah.
Oh wow, great headline there.
Yeah. That was the second Heart and Soul of Rally Award, and that's one of my favorite pictures of him. Look at his smile.
Yeah.
He's so happy.
He
looks very proud that he has won that award.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
Some more decorated toenails.
The library.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh my.
That was so Charlie Dog and Friends had made a line of, they were called pocket pitties, and they sold them, and the proceeds went to rescue and shelter work and advocacy work for years. And yeah, they're no longer in business, but those little Jeffreys, there's a lot of them out there, and they're carried all over the place. They provide a lot of comfort for a lot of people. And I have one over my shoulder right here.
Oh yeah, let's see it. Hold on.
There he is. There he is.
Oh, that's adorable. They're cute.
Yeah, he's very cute.
Yeah. Oh,
Cute,
God.
my little guy. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of Jeffrey everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm I'm s- I'm a crazy person. My house is basically a shrine.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's all right.
For now. For now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
It's
I always say, Michelle, because when I think about grief, that you just hold tight to those memories, and at some point you'll laugh more than you cry.
I hope so.
Yes, you will. You'll get to that point that those memories will give you so much joy and so much laughter. So,
Been
And
ugly
and
crying for 2 weeks.
oh, that's okay. Ugly crying's good.
Yeah.
yeah, so we have we've got Jeffrey that was working as a therapy dog, and Jeffrey that was
Mhm.
sort of rally dog. But tell me about your memories and how much like you loved just Jeffrey at home and Jeffrey being silly and Jeffrey being just a fun little guy to hang around with.
Jeffrey he was the best to hang around. He was the best family dog. He loved everyone in the family. We have a little niece, Brooklyn, and they've been buddies from day one. And I have a million photos of them together. He adored her. He especially began to adore her even more when the high chair time came around, when she was old enough for that.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
ooh,
No.
somebody opened my door. She and my parents live in Vermont, and he would love to go to Vermont and visit them. And I lost my dad a couple years ago, and Jeffrey and my dad, he
Well,
he visited a lot, and he spent a lot of time at my dad's feet during his hospice days. I was very fortunate to be there with him and do his care, and be with my family during the time that my dad was leaving us. He got to stay home over his fields where he wanted to be. He never, and Jeffrey was there the whole
oh,
time. And he just was he was fun. I mean, he would lay on the couch with you. He would hog the bed. He was totally a bed hog. He we went on walks. I would take him for ice cream and chicken nuggets. And I just wanted his life to be joyful. He deserved it. Every shelter dog deserves the lives that our dogs have, every single one of them. I did never went on vacations, but I did last year. We went to Dog Mountain. We traveled up there, and it was an extraordinary experience, profound. If you ever get to go there, go. It's in St. John's Ferry, Vermont. There's the dog chapel
oh,
where I'm going in a couple weeks. We were planning to go together, but I'm gonna go.
yeah.
You can leave a note and a photo of your dog who has crossed the Rainbow Bridge, and every surface of the chapel is covered
Oh,
floor
my.
to ceiling, and there's albums in the front now because they don't move anything either, so you'll always find your picture when you go there. So now they have albums because every space is covered, but
Oh,
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful Stephen Hunick was a folk artist, and he created this sanctuary where you could just go with your dog. Every dog is welcome,
yeah.
and there's a pond, and there's an agility field, and there's trails, and there's fields, and it's just so profound to visit there. I think there's a picture of Jeffrey in his stroller peeking out and looking at the dog chapel somewhere in those photos that I sent you, and he walked on his own power through the dog chapel. He walked in, he looked around, and you could tell he understood the gravity and the sacredness of the place. And he strolled slowly through, just taking it all in. And so I'm gonna go and bring a little of he and Puck's ashes up there, and bring their photos and write their stories and put them in the albums up there. So
Oh,
and I've
That-
done that with all of our friends that have gone before us too. When we were there, we brought a long list of loved ones that we honored there.
oh.
Tell me one more time, Michelle. Where's that at?
Yeah,
It's
where?
it's called Dog Mountain. It's in St. Johnsbury, Vermont, and it was the beautiful gift to the world from Stephen Hunick, who is no longer with us, who was a beautiful folk artist that focused on dogs. He was a dog lover, that's for sure.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, they keep his memory alive there beautifully. It's a really special place.
Oh,
It's a
it's
good pilgrimage for any dog person. It's a
uh,
great place to visit. Yeah.
wow.
That's very cool. I was trying to find. I'm not sure why. So I saved all the photos that you sent me, but then they, you know, iPhones and app like Apple, they want to
Yeah.
save them in like a particular date order, and
Oh, yeah.
so a lot of them saved it at one particular spot, and then some of them saved way back. So I know you sent me a picture of that. I was trying to find it on here to put up there, but that, that's very, very cool.
They have a beautiful website. You would find them online.
Yeah, and folks, check out, go to Jeffrey the Positively Peaceful Pitbull on Facebook, and
Right.
you can scroll back and see all the things that you've done, over the years. And I'm sure it's so I can't even imagine, the things that you're going through now, but
Thank you.
knowing you, this is going to be a very short-lived thing that you'll always have Jeffrey there, and Jeffrey will probably be, the source of inspiration for doing a lot of things. But I know, I just feel from talking with you and knowing with you, it's not going to end here, and
Right.
you'll be advocating by example for a long, long time to come.
I'm gonna write a book. No, I'm
Oh,
gonna write a story. Gonna write a story. So hopefully I'll have a contribution from you as well, Jeff.
No, yeah, I would love it. And before, I want to make sure before we jump off here, and it may be difficult and you may not want to talk about it, but, just tell us about like what Jeffrey, like just to you, forgetting all the rally and the therapy and all that, just from your heart, what was Jeffrey to you?
He was my world. He was he he healed me. He loved me. He was he was part of me. And in that moment there, that was right before we said goodbye. And my friend Robin took that picture, and I'm glad she did, because there was no word. There didn't have to be any words. It was just forehead to forehead and just breathing in each other's space and holding his paw and thanking him for everything that he gave to me and that he's given to the world. He had a sweet little podcast playing, not podcast. He had a playlist playing in the background, and it was just quiet and peaceful. And he was in his favorite spot on our couch. He had his hippo with him. He had a stuffed hippo that he loved, and my dear friend came and is a veterinarian, and he helped him pass. And my other friend was here the whole time, and it just was. I owed him that grace. He gave so much. He left nothing on the field, and I owed him the grace of setting him free and letting him go. And it was the hardest thing I ever did. But the moment he took his last breath, the peace that came over me, I know that he sent that to touch my heart, just to remind me that I can find some peace again someday without him, and that he'll always be with me. It,
Well, at that moment there, you are thanking him for, everything that he did for you, but, he's thanking you too for the
yeah.
that you gave to him.
That's the gift we could give. We are able to give them that gift of peace. I worked at hospice for many years, and it was always so heartbreaking to me that we could not set people free when their bodies were no longer serving them. And his body was tired, but he was not. So it was my ultimate gift to him, was to let him be free of that body.
Exactly. It's a beautiful photo.
Yeah, it's a very wonderful.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
We're all crying. That's okay.
Sorry.
Well, Michele, you and Jeffrey made such a huge impact on so many people, and I hope you know that, and I hope you realize that, and I hope you feel that, and it'll live on, and that effect will go on for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
And
just
No, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I just wanted to thank you so much for reaching out to me. That was so incredibly kind. I was blown away and just so kind, and thank you for inviting me. It was so gracious for you to have us.
Yeah.
Well,
Have
it
here
is.
with you.
It's an important. It's important story to tell, and it's important life to and journey to put out there. And you've done an amazing job. And
Thank you.
it just you just want to uh, do everything you can to remember this incredible journey that you got. So.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna spend the next few weeks trying to thank everybody. I mean, there's so many people to thank for being part of his journey, his veterinarians and everybody that was part of his life played a part. They were part of our journey. Like there's nobody walks alone, and our motto was always we're all just walking each other home. That quote by Ram Dass. That's kind and that was really Jeffrey. We're all just walking each other home. We all have to be there for each other. And you know, during the end of that last day, my friend Robin was here for me the whole time, and she said the same thing. She goes, "It's what we do. It's what we do for each other," and she's so right. And I just want to, for the rest of my life, continue to go forward and just do that, to be there, hold space, be there for other people, and just meet them where they are. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to take away their pain. You don't have to comfort them because you're uncomfortable. You just be there and hold space. And that's what we have to do for each other.
Yeah, that's so powerful, Michele, because sometimes people worry about helping somebody that's grieving because they don't know what to say. And words are not necessary. It's just like, it's just being there, just knowing there.
That's what that photo is right there. We were
Exactly.
just being. There was nothing else. It was just, I didn't even, I mean, my friend, the vet, my Dr. Lee was there and Dr. Hampton were there, but it was just Jeffrey and I in that moment, and they both held space beautifully without interrupting and without stepping
Right.
in. They were just so kindly holding space for us.
Yes.
And we're grateful for that peaceful passing. That everybody deserves that, and Jeffrey especially deserved a peaceful passing.
Yeah, he did. What a wonderful life led, he did.
What a wonderful life and a wonderful lesson taught and a wonderful story. And just know, Michele, that we're incredibly grateful that you even wanted to come on and talk about him. It was important to me because I thought it was such a great story, and you guys had such an incredible relationship that. But I wanted to meet you at your space and make sure that you were comfortable with it. But I just thought it was a really good story for people to hear, and and we are all. I hope you feel that there are so many people out there for you.
Thank you so much. I just love you guys, and thank you. And please give Ethan a million kisses from me, and everybody listening. Give your dogs as much love as you can in every moment. Listen to them. Respect their emotions. Listen to what they say to you because they're always communicating with you. And people, just as a dog trainer, I see that people just don't realize what they've got right in front of them. These treasures, they will tell you. They'll tell you what they need, and they'll make your life so much richer if you just listen to them.
Well, you write that book. It will touch the hearts and lives of so many. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah, we need to see that book coming up soon, Michele. And know that. Let's get off here on a very positive note. You guys have made such an incredible difference in so many lives, and it will go on and on and on. And we're grateful that you wanted to come on and tell your story here. And you will. Again, hopefully you feel that love from folks because you've made such an incredible impact.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for everybody for watching. Talk to you soon.